Dominion Voting Systems has fired another salvo in its post-2020 presidential election war against Trump and his supporters, who accused it of various acts during the election, this time targeting Rudy Giuliani with a $1.3 billion defamation lawsuit. And if that sounds familiar, it's because they also filed a $1.3 billion defamation lawsuit against Sidney Powell, a pro-Trump attorney who is not officially on the team, just last week. And I'll have a link to that video at the end of this one if you want to check it out and happen to miss it. But don't miss any future videos by hitting that subscribe button. I'm Nick Rekieta of Rekieta Law, a small law firm in central Minnesota. I'm a lawyer and legal and political commentator here on YouTube. So hit the subscribe button to get more news like this. Okay, so though the lawsuits are similar, they are not identical. And they're also not the only lawsuits Dominion has talked about filing. They have specifically stated they are willing to sue Mike Lindell, the MyPillow guy, and have not ruled out the possibility of suing Donald Trump himself. Now, one of the hurdles that they face in all of this is that this is political speech. This is at the apex of protected speech. This is what the First Amendment is designed to protect. So they have to overcome some burdens here. All of these people are public people, politically motivated public people commenting on a political subject about a public company engaged willingly as a participant in the 2020 election. And because of that, they will likely be considered a public figure, and I can't see how they would not be a public figure in this matter. And therefore, any statements that they claim are false, they have to show that they're false, that they are facts, not opinions, that they cause damage to the company, and most importantly, that the person making the statement did so with either knowledge of the falsity or a reckless disregard for the truth. That is the legal standard of actual malice required in a defamation lawsuit against a public figure. So this is a high burden because it's a politically charged environment, because these are made, some of the statements are made in lawsuits. In Sidney Powell's case, they have some extra protections there. In Rudy's case, they're actually saying that him not making the statements in his legal filings, but making them publicly is part of the basis. And they're trying to use him making the statements publicly, but not in his lawsuits, as knowledge that it was false. They're saying that, well, if he was unwilling to bring it in the lawsuit, he must have known it was false. This, of course, is an unavailing sort of claim because it implies knowledge of falsity rather than a lack of specific existing evidence or a lack of that being the legal issue you wanted to focus on for various reasons during a lawsuit. Pleading fraud is a high burden in a lawsuit and requires some specific extra steps. But that's getting a little bit into the weeds on this. Let's scale this back and talk about what this means, however. Of course, the possible upside of this for people like Rudy and Sidney Powell is the prospect of going into discovery. Going into discovery against Dominion would mean that they might have access to prove out their claims. And one of the things Dominion is likely to do is to suggest that their software or their programs or whatever are protected by trade secrets, something they alleged during the height of the election lawsuits, that they said that their information needed to be guarded because it's how to count votes is their trade secret. But if they are bringing the suit against these people, it will be a little bit harder for them to allege a business trade secret because they're the ones engaging in the suit. So therefore, they may be opening themselves up to discovery. And for Rudy's part, one of the quotes, from the Joe Pag show, and this is on January 21st. So this is post-inauguration and would likely be in consideration of the possibility that he would be being sued. He says, quote, "I'd love to take discovery on Dominion and then to show you how the machine works, where you can change votes and where 80% of the votes end up in adjudication, which means only 20% of the votes get registered the way you put it in." So this was on his Joe Pag Show, and you can see other stuff here. I'm going to attach the document. This is the actual lawsuit that Dominion has filed. You can look at it yourself, but as you can see, it's 107 pages and a little long for a short video like this. So, but you can check it out in a link in the description. And also, tell me what you think about these lawsuits. What do you think about Dominion? On YouTube here, we're not really allowed to express opinions about what we think about Dominion and voting allegations. And as such, I am not doing so in this video. This is an informative video, and any statements about 2020 election, voting irregularities or anything like that are coming from Dominion and Rudy Giuliani and do not necessarily reflect my views. But again, I'd love to know y'all's views, so please share them with me and let me know. Should Rudy be sued? Should Dominion be going after these things? Do you want to see discovery on Dominion? I think it'd be very interesting since none of the courts allowed discovery on Dominion in the wake of the 2020 election. I would love to see it come out as a result of some of these defamation lawsuits, and I will be covering them as we go. So if you want to see it, hit subscribe. We'll talk to you soon. Have a good day. Peace. Peace.